we have to remember that much of the meaning in our lives is bound up in the relationships that we have had. Okay, listening for people, probably one of the most important ones we do, because our loved ones are some of our most important anchors in life. When someone is bringing us their people, they're showing us, this is who I love. And actually, this is someone who loved me. I'm lovable. That's what they're often showing us. So I think that we have to remember that much of the meaning in our lives is bound up in the relationships that we have had. Some of those are obvious ones. That's the kids, the spouses, parents, siblings, grandparents. But remember too, sometimes we're listening for less obvious ones. That's important friendships, important colleagues, sometimes mentors, or a lot of times you'll hear about a person who's come into our life for a brief moment, but has had a really profound impact. And we like to talk about these because it helps us to affirm that bond, take comfort from it, take some pride in it, and experience gratitude for it. That's really important. Now, many a time too, though, when people are talking about their important relationships, it's because they're missing someone, or they are maybe reminding themselves of how they felt or who they are when they're with that person, right? They're trying to make contact with the positive parts of themselves that got to be expressed with that person. So when you see someone, for example, reminisce about someone who's gone, sometimes you might notice their demeanor change. And this is actually because that bond is being activated psychologically, along with all that good stuff that goes with it. So a woman talking about her husband who is maybe gone, you might notice she starts to laugh a bit. And this is because inside of herself, she's sensing that playful dynamic between them. And this puts her in contact with that playful part of herself. So I think you can probably understand just how significant this is, right? Because what's going on here is she's not just telling you about him. That's only part of it. She's making contact with herself, right? And by doing this, she's a little bit more herself. And she's, thinking like she did when she was with him. So I think that this is really profoundly consoling for someone. And the important thing is just a minute of that, they can take that back into their day. She can take that playful part back into the rest of her day and experience the comfort of that. Now, we can think of everyday examples here too. Maybe, for example, you are at the grocery store and you're picking out fruit. And as you're doing this, a woman is there and she's paying attention to you, she's observing you, and she says something to you like, "Oh, you're just like my son. Picky, this kid. He could spend 10 minutes picking the best apple in the bunch. High standards, that kid." Anyhow, he works in one of these really great restaurants now, really overpriced and really fancy. I was there once. I got the VIP treatment. He had everyone waiting on me hand and foot. Okay. And what's going on here? Okay, she's showing you her successful son and her special treatment, right? And she feels pride in this and she wants you to see that. And maybe you're going to reflect that back. You're going to say something like, "Wow, he sounds like he's really successful. Look at you, you're getting the star treatment," right? Of all the things that we listen for, pay careful attention to the people. These are the most important ones. I saw a stat recently that said that something like 40% of people, 40%, are in general too embarrassed to admit that they are lonely. That's a very high number. And I think this is something to think about when someone starts bringing you a loved one, because they aren't just telling you about that person, they're telling you about themselves with that person. And also it's important to remember that sometimes when we're bringing a person up, it's because we miss them, right? And they might be a little bit lonely, and they're trying to make contact with that bond, okay? So it can feel like a tiny bit of security when things are lonely or a little bit uncertain.